20 game weeks have come and gone, and we only have 8 wins to show for it, which simply put is just not good enough. I wanted to go over the main problems Chelsea are facing right now, starting strong with possibly the most controversial figure in the team, Nicholas Jackson. Accounting for 20% of all Chelsea goals this season, Jackson is currently the second top goal scorer for the club, only 1 goal short of Cole Palmer. At 22 years old, he has nearly started every single game this season, so what's with all the hate? Well, if you've watched this man play, you'd soon realize that these stats mean nothing. Countless one-on-ones missed, an inability to dribble past any opposition. This man is a third-rate striker at best. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but seriously, we've given him all the time in the world to settle in, and he still seems upsettingly awkward up front. You could say that his hold-up play creates chances for the team, but besides that and his backheel passes, he's not a reliable striker, is he? Our backup striker, Armando Broja, has also failed to impress, scoring only 1 in 12 appearances. Granted, he hasn't started all those games, but when he has, nothing really changes. I don't think that Jackson and Broja are the worst. They're both pretty young and have lots of potential going forward, but that's the future. I'm talking about the here and now, and right now, neither one of them should be starting up front. A new striker could be expected this January window, but until then, we just have to hope that these two keep us going. Moving on down to the other side of the pitch, and we've got the defense. Where do I start? Many miscommunications, poor defensive awareness, clumsy mistakes, yet somehow we've managed to grab back-to-back wins. So clearly, some things are working. For example, Thiago Silva. This man is a monster in the back. What he lacks in pace, he makes up for in strength and intelligence, which helps him shut down all sorts of attacks. His vision and passing excellence have created chances out of thin air, almost getting an assist from his half of the pitch on a number of occasions. Yes, he's made some mistakes in the past, and there's no excusing that, but he's definitely done us more good than bad. Now back to reality. In those final 15 minutes against Luton, our defense was getting exposed. Crosses were coming in from left and right, and we just couldn't handle the press. We somehow scraped away with a 3-2 victory, but that second half showed just how unstable our backline really is. I think Pochettino's tried every single defender in every single position at this point, and I've come to the conclusion that despite his attempts, he just can't replace the 2 players he needs most. Reece James and Ben Chilwell, captain and vice-captain alike. When these two started, the quality in defending was exactly what you'd expect from a club like Chelsea. And it's not just because of their defensive capabilities, it's because they led the backline, and that made our defending so much more sturdy. Unfortunately, they've both been out injured for the majority of the season, creating 2 massive dents in the defense that Pochettino has been struggling to fix ever since. And there really isn't much Chelsea can do here to deal with the problem except wait for the captains to return. Unless, if we're lucky, Chilwell might return in the following few weeks, but for Reece James, it's gonna take a lot more time. So we've got ineffective strikers and gaps in the defense. No big deal, the January window's here. We can just buy more players, right? And that leads me to the third problem. There is no one out there that does it like Todd Bowley when it comes to overspending on players that just aren't really worth it. Every day I go to bed thinking about how we spent £115 million on the most average DM the league has ever seen. 90 million on Mudryk, 106 million on Fernandes. The list just goes on. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with Bowley becoming infamous for spending 1 billion in the span of a year, going through 3 managers in the same season, and then finishing 13th with no trophies. But this overspending has impacted Chelsea in a far worse way than you could have ever imagined. Firstly, the price tags. Many players have been overpaid for, and because of these ridiculous fees, the pressure's only gotten bigger. Most of these youngsters were with smaller teams, so the sudden jump to Chelsea alongside the massive number over their heads have immensely raised the set standard. Next is the abundance of players. With many new faces entering the changing rooms, competition to get into the starting 11 has never been higher. Poch not only now has the added challenge of somehow trying to figure out which players he should use, but also how he can implement the new players into the team and what the strongest XI actually is. Many players also ended up leaving this summer, so the lack of structure in the team has caused the chemistry to crumble, making everything just so much more stressful than it already is. Combining this with all the pressure added to the new players with insanely high price tags, you can kinda see how Todd Bowley's overspending has created a bit of a mess in the Chelsea changing rooms. If we can make it through this window without bringing in 15 more overpriced starters, then that would just be great. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. It helps the channel a lot, and yeah, thanks for watching.